Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today I want to teach you how to read the Hebrew letters. And I'm going to give you extra value as we study from Kabbalah, from astrology, and from the symbols of the letters. So it's going to be very fun for those of you that have different backgrounds and know things from the mystical realm, from the occult, and this will really tie things together from tarot, from astrology, from everything. So I hope in the end that you will be able to pronounce at least the first 5 letters and to understand how the language is written and in general what to pay attention to. So let's start. I hope this is going to be fun for you, and that this would give you maybe an option to read the Psalms, the Bible, or just even your name and understand it a little better. So I am fascinated by the Hebrew letters because of the deep meaning of it. When I meet a person, I see in my mind their name and I pay attention very closely to the first letter of the name, because in Kabbalah, the first letter of the name is the most important and contains the spiritual power of the name and actually dictates all the rest of the letters' meanings, and it's just the most important energy signal a person has. So we have 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, which correlate, by the way, to the 22 tarot cards in the major arcana. Some of our letters in Hebrew are final letters and little letters together. So we have something in Hebrew that is not existing in English, and that is final letters. Letters that are written in the end of the word still have the same pronunciation. Let's say, for example, we have the letter Nun, like N, and in some letters we have a final N that's written in a certain way. So that's one thing to pay attention to in the Hebrew alphabet that is a little different. The other thing is that we have some letters that, depending on their placement in the word, whether it's in the beginning of the word or the middle, they also are pronounced a little differently. For example, the letter Bet can be pronounced B or V depending on its placement. Now, I know this might sound a little confusing, but it will all make sense if you follow me step by step. So I want to share with you a screen here and show you the table of the 22 Hebrew letters. So I'm going to share this whiteboard. Hang on with me here. Okay, so here we have a table of the 22 letters. On the left, you can see the Hebrew version, the name of the letter, the pronunciation, and the Gimatria value. So every letter in Hebrew has a number connected to it. We see that the first 10 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, very simple. It runs like that. But from 10, it jumps in tens until 100, and then 200, 300, 400. So at the end, we have the letter Taf, which is the value of 400. Now, in Hebrew, we read from right. This is the letter Aleph. We read from right to left. Okay? And each letter has 3 things we need to pay attention to. The first thing is how it is pronounced. What's the sound that it's making? So in our case, Aleph is A, okay? Like A. The second thing that we need to pay attention to is the Gimatria value of it. It's 1. And the third thing is how it's written, the symbolicness of it, and if the letter has some symbols. So for example, in English, we have the letter B, right? And the way we write B is B-E-E. right? That's B, like A, B, C. But B also means bee, right? The little bee that's, you know, making honey, which by the way, I am obsessed with honey lately. So B. In Hebrew, we have a lot of things like that, that the actual Aleph, for example, means something. Aleph doesn't mean anything, but Bet, the second letter, Bet, that means house. And this is important because this helps us understand the meaning of the letter. So when we meet a person that has this letter in the beginning of the name, that helps us understand a little more what this person is about. So, okay, Bet is bait and it's house. So this can let us know that this person that starts with a B might be a more introverted, family-oriented kind of person that is connected to material. Okay, so house is coming from the material world, for example, and it's very grounded. Okay, so possibly a person with starting with B has some earthly qualities to them. But I want to point out that also when we look at the letters, we have on the top part of them, this is considered to be the spiritual line, spiritual. And then the bottom is earth. Okay, this is the ground. So I'll call it ground. And that also helps us understand what and how to treat each letter. So if you see in the letter Bet, we have a line that is stuck to the sky and a line that's stuck to the ground. So there is a beautiful play here of polarities between heaven and earth, and a sort of line that connects between them. So this also adds to the letter Bet, that is also about like polarities. Okay, so this is all extra stuff, and it's not exactly about how to read them, but just an introduction to them. And for those of you who like tarot, I will explain that Aleph, for example, is the magician. You remember the magician that's spreading his hands just like Aleph? Aleph is a manifestation sort of letter. It's a letter that's super open. It has a lot of abstract divine force in it. And then we have Bet. Bet is like the high priestess, the polarities, heaven and earth, her sitting with a black and white next to her. And she's also very hidden. She's hiding a lot of the sacred knowledge in her. So Bet is very potent energy as well. And then we have Gimel. Gimel is the letter of walking, okay? Like little feet here. So we have an abstract force, and then we have the polarities, okay? So to create something, we need the energy to create it, and then we need two to tango, and then we need to do something with the two, okay? So we need to make something happen between them. We need a relationship between them, and Gimel gives us the relationship. Now in Hebrew, we also have what's called nikud. Nikud are these dots that you see, or the lines, the sort of decorations you see around a letter. So if we take Aleph, we can see a line like this under the word. It can also look like a T. There can also be dots, okay? And these decorations, or nikud, they give the letter a direction, okay? So in English, usually we use A, E to direct on the letter that comes before. In the Hebrew, we often use this, but we don't, after we learn how to pronounce words, these are like supporting things. These are like training wheels to help a beginner read. But actually, most of the books that are written, and when I read and write, I never add these because I already recognize words and I know the direction of the letters. But today I want to teach you these three, so this line, this T, and the three dots, and all of them are the direction of A. So if we take the first 5 letters, that would be A, Ba, Ga, Da, and Ha. Okay? Later we learn E, Be, Ge, or O, Do, Bo. Like, we learn how to direct the word. So A is the easiest. Now if we take Aleph, and then we have Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, these are the first 5 that I want to go over. I'm going to build some words with these letters, and I want you to try and read them out loud. So if I take Aleph, and then I put Bet, and then I put again Aleph. Based on these directions, how would you read this word? Okay, the answer is Abba. Okay, this is how you write and say Abba. Abba actually means father. Okay, so that's how we say dad, Abba. Then another one would be Daled and Gimel. Daled and Gimel together is Dag. Dag. Remember, we're reading from right to left. Dag. And Dag means fish. Okay, now I'm moving to the more Kabbalistic, mystical part of it. Let me move to my full screen. Okay, so a lot of this information about the letters comes from the book of creation that is associated with Abraham, one of the founding fathers of Judaism. And in this book, there is a lot of what is each letter and the planet or astrological sign that is associated with it. Lots of secrets in the world. Now, because we're studying about letters, I want to share with you what he says about the first 5 letters. So, we have 3 letters. Unfortunately, I'm starting with a hard letter. We have 3 letters in the Hebrew alphabet: Aleph, Mem, and Shin. Let me get back to my whiteboard for a second. We have Aleph, Mem, and Shin. These are highly spiritual letters, and they're very, very special. You might have seen these in Kabbalistic jewelry, in tattoos. I think Madonna has a reference to this. And these letters don't have a direct reference to a planet or an astrological sign. They're more open, okay? They are more combined. So for example, Aleph is a combination. Some say, it's not written, but some say, not written in Sefer Yetzirah, that is a combination between Pluto and air. So that's not an exactly understandable force. It's more of a combination. Now, Bet is connected to Saturn. And Saturn is, as we know, Capricorn and Aquarius. So the energy of a name that starts with a B would be influenced by Saturn. So for example, my name is Yael and I am a Scorpio, but my name, the letters, the energy of the letters, the energy of my name, the first letter is Ya, Yud. It's come from Virgo. Ayin comes from Capricorn, and Lamed comes from Libra. So that gives another take on what my soul mission is. Even though I was born Scorpio, there is a direction to my name. So the first letter, that's Yud, is Virgo, connected to Mercury. And what I'm doing now, I'm teaching. I'm using the media. Mercury, it's a very media-oriented planet, right? It deals with the mind. So that's an example, because the first letter in the name is the most important, like I said. And when we, for example, look at combination between couples, we see if it works. If it doesn't work, we combine the first two letters. So the first two letters can have a deep meaning, and also we can combine them with using Gimatria. So if my first letter is 10, is Yud, means 10, and then I want to check if our relationship between me and a person, let's say, that is his or her name is Abraham, then A is 1. 1 plus 10, that's 11. Sometimes we treat 11 as a master number, but if not, we take 1 plus 1, that's 2. 2 now represents a possibility of this relationship. So this relationship is a relationship of creation. Okay, so that's kind of like off topic. I'm moving back to the planets and the astrological signs that are associated to the letters. The letter Gimel is connected to Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Gimel is a letter that is wanting to grow. It's a letter of a lot of movement. It's a letter with no boundaries. People usually with names that starts with G or J love travel, love movement. They're very ambitious. Moving on to D. Dalet. Dalet is associated with Mars. A very powerful, ambitious, and determined kind of letter or sound. And remember when I said that sometimes a letter can have a meaning, like B is a bee or a house. So Dalet means door. People that are named names that start with a D have a sort of very opening energy, and they can influence other people and open up spaces in them and invite them to go on journeys. Okay, so D is a door to something that is hidden, something that is true but is not a seen right now. And D is also a very strong letter, sometimes a letter of leadership. And it's a letter that is the fourth letter. I'm focusing on Dalet because it's an important letter, actually. And it's about the material world. You know how we have the directions, north, south, east, west. So the 4 directions, that's why the physical planet is associated also with the number 4, the number of groundedness. But in a sense, people that start with Dalet or D understand the ground, understand the earth, but they also understand that the celestial realm has so much more to offer than what we see in here, that compared to the celestial realm, what we see around us is poor. It's not enough. And they constantly have people that starts with Dalet, have a hunger to want more, to learn more. So that's kind of like a hungry letter. And Hey is also associated with Mars, but it's a letter that is connected with containing something, with giving birth to something, with giving a home to something. So let me show you again on the whiteboard. Dalet, as we said, that is a door. Hey, if the direction is coming from here, Hey is creating a space, a safe space here, but it has something inside of it. So in a way, Hey is pregnant with something. It's creating something. Dalet, understanding Dalet a little better, if this is the heaven and this is earth, Dalet is connected to the heavens, okay? Dalet is there, and it's a little wobbly, okay? So that creates some extremes with people starting with Dalet. Now, a little other code that's cool is that if we take our names, we can find, let's say there is the name Adam, okay? Adam. Adam starts with an A, and ends with an M. In Hebrew, you write Adam. Okay? Starts with an Aleph and ends with an M. Now, if we want to look in the Bible, for every name, we can find a Bible verse that starts with the letter of our name and ends with the ending letter of our name. And that's super cool. Like, I looked mine up. There are a few options because the Bible is pretty long, and I checked some and I found one that I really, really liked. So if you're interested in it, I do encourage you to do some research, because that too helps us understand our name better or our energy better. Now, in Kabbalah, our name is one of the most important things there is, because it's sort of mantra. We hear our name all the time, and the name holds the frequency. That's why understanding the letters of our name, understanding the Gimatria, the number value of our name, is very valuable, because we can understand why we chose it and how it influences us too. So I hope you like this video. If you want to get in touch with me and have a private session, I give readings and interpretations of names, dreams, tarot, and other things from Kabbalah and the study of relationships in Tantra. Please write me to intuitivefortune@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you with any question. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.